Okay, calling the meeting to order. It is 7:01. The first article that we're going to go over is Article 22, a new vehicle for the Board of Assessors. Sure.
In the middle?
Well, why don't you pull the table over?
Is that set up because of the camera?
It's not the table, it's set up.
Like the first one?
Article 22.
You want me to just start in?
Yep.
Okay. So the Board of Assessments is asking, obviously, for
Need to speak up, please.
an inspection vehicle for our data lister. Currently, she's using her personal vehicle. That's how it's been since our last data lister, who's since retired. It's been problematic for a number of reasons. You're pulling up to people's homes. These inspections are unannounced. So you're basically cold calling and you're going up and down the street and people are looking out the window. They don't know who you are. There's nothing official. We get, unfortunately, not the results we want as far as the success rate that we'd like to get in. So we're leaving tags. They're calling us and saying, oh, we wish we knew it was you. You know, we'd like you to come back, schedule an appointment, and then we have to double back around. A lot of times when we're doing cyclical inspections as well, we'll do a whole street or a section of the street at a time. So we'll park the vehicle in a quieter neighborhood, obviously not on a main road, but we'll park the vehicle and we'll walk the street. So there's a car that's sitting there, and we have Facebook posts saying there was a car, there's these people, they're looking, you know, at our house, they're taking photographs of it. So there's just nothing truly town official that it basically just announces our presence and who we are and what we're there. So we asked for a couple of quotes, which we got some pricing. The pricing we got was $33, $38, and $40. We asked for SUV, all-wheel vehicle, no bells and whistles, just, you know, give me heat, AC, some windows, and the likes. And so those are the prices we got, and we submitted the article.
Okay.
Let's review the quotes. I want to see the quotes.
Paul, the quote's up on the drive.
For that, I don't think we got it.
Well, let's just pass them out. Make a copy. That's not an outrageous request. I'd like to look at the quotes.
Do you have copies? I have copies.
Yeah, she has them.
Right here.
I thought they were from the draft. I apologize. I thought
I thought this kind of thing goes out to the bid, to the...
You guys have official IDs when you knock on the door?
We have photo identification. Unfortunately, we don't have official photo identification. We're waiting to get those now.
I don't know.
We've actually
Let me
to
look
make
at
our
it.
own.
I can probably...
So yeah, we do have
second in
that.
30
We have
seconds.
little door knockers that we leave.
This is what I used to do for a business.
You know, with a phone number, if people question who we are, sometimes we'll say, please feel free to call the town hall. We'll verify our identification. And we try to do the best we can.
Did we go ahead and get official shirts and things?
That
We
was my
did
next-
get shirts.
Because that was one of the, when they came before the subcommittee, one of the issues was the showing up, and the car doesn't look like official town car, the people don't look like it, so Josh said he would buy shirts, so that when they walk up, it's got a Milford logo.
Should be in a uniform.
Huh?
They should be in a uniform.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The one last time was one of the ladies that works downstairs, and I don't think you're gonna wear a uniform to work. Am I correct? I mean, one of the ladies that works in your office downstairs? But I would, in the wintertime, they came there with like a foot and a half of snow. So maybe a jacket that says Town of Milton or something, instead of just a t-shirt or shirt or something.
Well, even a lanyard with just a person, like a photo.
Yes, they
Well,
have.
they did have that, I did notice those. And they did identify themselves.
Is it inappropriate to suggest a magnetic sign that goes on a car door?
We've done that twice, and we've lost them both.
Yeah.
Lost them?
Yeah, big magnets that go on the door, and they're gone. When she gets back to the office, and they're gone.
So much stuff.
Okay.
I have like 3 of them hanging in my bedroom.
They're
Those big.
Did they fall off, or?
Yeah, well, obviously, yeah, we just don't know where.
Well,
So
no,
now we
it's-
have Town of Milford Assessor's Office magnets around town somewhere. I don't
No, I
like
was
that
wondering if
either.
somebody took them or they fell off.
They fell off because they would have been used during the day, and then when she gets back to Town Hall, we take it off and put it in the vehicle. Yeah.
So you say you have three, well, before we go on, didn't not having a vehicle also hurt us when we were trying to recruit people?
It did, actually. We've had several candidates that came very experienced in doing the data listing, and they said, what kind of vehicle do you guys have? You know, what kind of fleet do you have? And it was like, fleet? We don't have a fleet. We don't have, you use your own car. And they said, no, I'm not doing that. So we
Some
lost out on a
employees-
couple.
Don't some employees, I mean, I'm assuming you reimburse for mileage, right?
Yeah,
What's the mileage reimbursement?
IRS.
Is it the Irish? I heard 26 cents a mile, it's the state.
No.
26.
15 years ago.
No, it's like-
No, it's
So,
IRS.
so how much did we reimburse?
61 and a half.
Yeah.
No, that's not.
Because the IRS is over 60 now.
Yeah.
But still, a set of brakes after you're driving around this town, that is accomplished for the gas and everything else. When you're putting brakes on your car because you're driving around this town or any other thing, the wear and tear on time, our public officials should not be driving around in their own personal vehicles. Period. Period.
Not to mention, sometimes people aren't happy to see us. And you're there in your personal vehicle, and then they see you around town.
Because you're trying to raise my taxes, Jen. I don't want you to come to my house either. I tell my kids don't answer the door if you come.
Come on, hug and kiss you.
We've had flat tires, we've had, the cars get filthy, they're constantly filthy and dinged up from construction sites, and it's just,
Is
So now
this be
you-
setting a precedent for any other departments?
Of course we are.
Of course you are, yes you are,
Of course we are.
yes you are. Most
Don't
definitely.
have a problem with that.
What?
Don't have a problem with that either. Our employees should not be driving their own vehicles on town work.
I also worry about the liability of
Exactly.
people doing town business.
Then maybe we should address the question in general as far as having a couple of town vehicles in the parking lot at town hall.
Yes.
And then whatever department needs
With
one,
one town label.
sign up to go get it.
Yes.
With labels on the doors.
Love it.
Well, I think that's what Jen would like, period, because then when she drives up, at least it looks like an official vehicle.
I would rather have a universal set of vehicles like you're talking about. that's
Well,
available.
let's take that up in the next budget season. Oh, I'd like to know how many people, and we'll ask the department heads, how many people are using their private vehicles, must use their private vehicles.
Well, but when you say take it up in the next budget season, what would happen? Is we approve this and then convert that car to a general use car at any time?
Well, that could happen, but right now, if there's one other car needed for inspectors, then there's no general use, or you change the rules.
I'm a little concerned. This is from Plymouth, Mass. Is there any reason why we went all the way to Plymouth to get this estimate?
we called Creek Place.
Will you call? Anybody call Imperial?
No.
33, 38, and 40.
What's that?
What is the difference?
Different places, or we
But in
basically
same
said.
car?
I'm not gonna pay retail price. I'm not gonna give-
He's got, I can't remember.
Most lieutenants are Toyota Corolla right now, I hate to say it, at $32,000.
This one right here is a Chevy Equinox.
But my point is, those prices are not out of control, Chuck. I think you, of all people, know that those prices are crazy.
This one for this Equinox from this dealer in Plymouth is within scope.
That's my point.
But this one from this other dealer, he just sent us a witness stick. That's way out.
Can I ask one question?
Rick, I have a
Are you
question.
fully
40,000.
staffed, your department?
Are we fully staffed? We are now.
What was the question?
Rick, I'm curious,
I was asking if you were fully staffed.
the procedure. If we allocate money, now she's got 3 different bids. What's the next step?
What price range are you talking about?
33, 38, and 40 grand.
Under 50, you can request quotes, so you can send the same set of specs to 3 different auto dealerships. In this case, and assume the specs are the same, you accept the lowest of the 3 quotes.
My concern is, why would you buy a dealer from somebody in Plymouth? Who's gonna service this car? it's gonna get serviced by somebody locally here. And for the first 3 years, it has to go back to the car dealer. You're gonna put some employee driving back to Plymouth, to get the service work done? These quotes need to go to Imperial and the other dealers, even the Nissan dealer over here, and let's do the business local, let's give the business to the local.
That I can't object to.
I mean, I don't,
Supporting local.
I don't care whether you like Kevin Mann, whether you don't like Kevin Mann, he is a businessman in this area.
But it has nothing to do with Kevin.
Exactly.
This is supporting local business.
This needs to be redone locally.
Still gonna have to
We
request
select
quotes.
places that were on the
In-
state
in-
bid list.
Is that on the state bid list?
Those are, yes.
I think Imperial's on the state bid
I
list.
don't know that to be the case, so
But
we
the point is, Jerry, she will do it, but in order for us to go forward, we need to give her a 50K or less, but she's still gonna do the due diligence of that, and I think that Jen is sitting here telling us that she will,
We give her 35,000.
that's below the lowest bid, Jerry.
Right, 33.
33.9.
Jerry, if we bid out, if we gave everyone the minimum bid on every job, we'd never get a job done.
And at the end of the day, Mr.
The
Chairman,
money comes
that's
back.
right. So whatever she doesn't use, it comes back.
So we could feel comfortable saying 40 with the proviso that before you place the order, you show the capital committee that you've gone, because Jerry's right in one respect. If we can go local, and I don't care if you like Kevin, hate Kevin.
That's not the issue.
Not the issue. If we can support
When
local,
that vehicle needs to be repaired, I don't want somebody driving to Plymouth and
so
spending.
if you buy a
You can go anywhere.
you have to go back to the dealer?
You need to develop a relationship with the local dealer. That way, when you need something,
That's different, but you said that you have to drive back to.
you don't have to, no.
Oh, okay.
For the warranty, some dealerships, you have to go back to that dealer.
What some dealers will do, and it's not factory approved, I worked there for 31 years. If you buy the car from them, and then you buy it from somebody else, when time comes, you get put in the backup list.
Okay, that's, but,
They'll fix it, it might take 2 days.
okay.
But did we just leapfrog the idea of a shared vehicle for multiple departments?
No, what we said was, that's never been brought up.
That's a great idea.
Because, I mean, do they use the vehicle every day, your employees?
Yeah.
All day, 8 hours, or?
No, so it's about a half a day, about a half a day doing the data entry, but then inspections. So a lot of times what happens is people will call after they've been out in the morning, and they'll call and say, well, I'm home now, can you come out? So we'll run out and we'll try to accommodate the homeowner as best we can, so we'll use it in the afternoon.
Lauren, I'm not against the idea, I think it's a great idea to explore, but not in 20 minutes.
Okay,
I'd rather, we can always go back on vehicles.
I don't think it takes 40,000 to do this, but in effort to get this off the table and on to the next piece of the town meeting puzzle, which we have still have a lot to do, I will motion to 40,000 purchase of this vehicle. Okay, not to exceed, and it comes with a caveat, you have to review it with this committee first.
I think we should keep it at not to exceed 50,000.
Well, we have a motion on the floor for.
You don't need 50,000. You can actually go buy this vehicle.
I have to agree, because you've got 3 bids, 33, 38, and 40.
40 is the highest one, and that's the retail price
So if
of
we
it.
take the 40, do we have a second to that motion?
For conversation.
Andy,
Let's not beat this to death.
But Jerry, the only thing is, I don't want it to, you said for a review back here. We have to get this done for town meeting here. I will go here for it, but not for a review back here.
we'll push it to the capital subcommittee then, because that'll be.
Whatever, but we can't, Jerry, we can't do it with all of us again, or this problem.
I don't want
If
to.
you were to retract that
Would
part,
you promise me that you,
Jerry.
before you issue the order, you'll bring it to the capital subcommittee?
Absolutely.
Is that cool with you, Jerry?
Fine.
Done.
As long as it's local.
Well, that's gonna be the big, Paul?
No, I just, one question. The thought came up whether or not departments could share the same vehicle. A lot of departments do their inspections at the same time. Just for example, the building inspectors, whether it's plumbing, electrical,
Paul,
building, they all go out at the same time, so they probably are not gonna be able to
Look,
use
Paul,
it.
I don't wanna take up in 20 minutes.
No, I'm just saying.
The idea.
We don't have to talk about it.
We
That's
have a
all.
motion, we have a second.
I think Jerry to revise his motion,
Why?
that it isn't reviewed by this full committee, that he will,
I just think it needs a second set of eyes.
and that's fine, the capital subcommittee, don't make the 18 of us.
He's saying
Look
don't.
at us all over. That's all I'm asking, Jerry.
So So it's, move it to the
Since you're in
Janice
charge,
Committee.
you're gonna send me a copy of
And you're cool with that, Jerry? You revised your motion.
And who seconded it? It was Andy. Did you revise the second?
Revise the second.
Okay, all in favor? So,
I thank you all very much.
we have Mr. Calagione here,
Thanks, Jen.
and Mr. Duncan.
Which one do you want to do first, Al? We have two.
You got two of them, pick one.
Well, I think the easier one is the rezoning article.
43 for Archer Rubber?
Yes. Well, it's more than Archer Rubber, just so we, you know.
That's
it's
what
that
I
area.
expected. It's the old Archer Rubber area.
It's the area from Archer Rubber up to effectively where the ambulance come out of, where community ambulances. It's that area of Depot Street. You can't rezone a single parcel. That would end up being spot zoning. It's a zoning to change that whole area to the business park zone. So Larry's handing out. You handing out both, Larry? We're handing out. He is handing out the one that says the report on Article 43. So,
I'm sorry. Can you just identify yourselves for me?
Joe Calagione, Chairman of the Planning Board.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, Town Planner.
I apologize. I'm so used to you guys coming and for granted everybody knew who it was.
Al, what's the financial?
None.
In most cases, these are referred to sponsor, to be totally honest, but
So what number are we on?
that's your...
I'm stuck with minutes, so 43?
46.
Thank you, buddy.
I said refer to sponsor.
Motion to refer to sponsor.
Second.
Any
The
discussion?
ninth time we've agreed on.
There is really no financial impact because right now it's zoned industrial.
Correct.
And
We're going to, effectively, it allows for most of the uses that are there to become conforming usages when we have a mixed use, and it allows, as far as we're concerned, although my understanding is Archer Rubber doesn't necessarily think so, it allows for a possibility of Archer Rubber being developed, because I think it's currently zoned, it's going to be very difficult for them to do, considering there's a river that runs through the middle of that parcel that they're going to have to deal with, whereas the business park zone may allow them an easier redevelopment, but we don't know that anything's going forward. It's our thought that this will allow for the possible redevelopment of that parcel at some point in the future.
It's also their problem, right, Joe?
Can I just have one question? I'm just wondering about the environmental impact. Has a study been done on the environmental
Well,
impact?
there's no plan in front of us, so there is no study to be done.
There's no-
If they come forward with a study, then you know, with a plan, they'll have to meet the environmental requirements, whatever there's a riverfront there, they have to be a certain distance away, whatever any of those are. But this is a rezoning of 85 acres, not of Archer Rubber, so there's no environmental study.
Bigger than
85
just
acres.
that.
The total area is 85 acres, yes.
So can I assume that it goes back into the swampland back there?
Yes, part of it does. Part of the 85 acres is actually owned significantly by the town of Milford. It's part of the 60 acres.
All that swampland behind the apartment complexes,
so this goes all the way to Sacred Heart?
the Archer Ave?
No, it goes from Archer Rubber down Depot Street till you get to the community ambulance, that whole area along that side of the road, pretty much all the way back. to the-
Right over by Archer Ave, straight back?
Goes by Archer Ave straight back through that, through the weather right back, to the
I
right.
had no idea it was that big, Joe. I'm not seriously, I'm not stunned.
Well, again, 60 of the acres are owned by the town because they own most of the acreage that abuts the Charles River in that area where the Godfrey Brook is. It was old Milford Water Company land that the town now
I mean,
owns.
that's
Most
a
of it-
chunk of land, Joe.
Most of it's not developed, let's be clear. But
I
again,
understand, but I'm just surprised by it.
Behind those houses on Depot.
yes, it is the houses on Depot Street and the land behind it.
If you look at the maps included in the handout, that's what the town meeting members and you'll all get when they mail the warrant. There are several maps that show not just aerial photos of the area, but also the environmental constraints on the area. As Joe said, you got Riverfront Act because of the Charles River itself. You got extensive wetlands, extensive floodplain. It's all over the aquifer, so it's in a water
Water
resource
resource
protection
area, yeah.
zone. So there's all kinds of environmental reasons to get it out of an industrial zoning district.
So
It
this
doesn't
is
matter,
just how
but
it cleared
that's
up.
part of the rationale
Okay.
was that the environmental aspects are better served by not allowing industrial development.
Correct,
And it's better protection for our water.
correct.
Well, there is protection anyways. It allows them to possibly develop the site with much more options that would meet the environmental impacts and also meet what could possibly be put in there. I mean, there isn't a whole lot of industrial, and any industrial that goes in there, we're probably going to be very cognizant of as to what we allow or not because it's in the water resource district. Whereas in a business park zone, the types of things that can go in there are more apt to, they'll be more apt to, at least my feeling is, they don't necessarily agree with this, our feeling, I should say, the planning board's feeling is that it allows them to put in less environmentally impactful development with, having the opportunity to at least do something there. Obviously, the way Archer Rubber was built back then in the day is not permittable now. They couldn't put it back in. So, we're trying to clean up that area because there's a mixed use in there. As we said, there's all the houses along Depot Street. There's some commercial as you move up further. Auto Go is up there. There's other things along there that are in the back. So this sort of puts it into a zone that mimics that type of usage, allows for those types of usage.
Any other questions?
I have one. Is Archer Rubber still a legal entity? Do they own the place or did they sell out to someone?
They sold it to a different name. It's not Archer Rubber as such.
Right. Do we know who that is?
Yeah, it's a liquidation firm. They're not interested in developing it, they're interested in marketing and selling it. But yet they don't have a plan.
And is it a local company, Massachusetts company?
No,
or a
New
state?
York.
New York.
Okay, any other questions or all in favor? For refer to sponsor.
Yeah.
Refer to sponsor.
Jerry made.
Jerry made the motion, I second.
We still have to vote on the refer to sponsor motion. So all in favor of refer to sponsor motion? Any against?
Mr. Davis.
So-
Did you abstain or?
David abstained.
I abstained.
Okay, comprehensive plan.
Comprehensive plan.
Paul, just curious, you have this post, what Larry just handed out, did you get a copy?
It's on the drive.
It's already on the drive?
Which article?
So, second article we have is comprehensive plan.
Article 20.
Thanks.
This is for $103,000.
103,000, yeah, we received, comprehensive plan, the last comprehensive plan in Milford was done 20 years ago. In most cases, comprehensive plans for towns are done every 10 years or at least updated every 10 years, so we're 10 years past when the comprehensive plan would normally be updated. The main reason is and Larry's handing out information, I'm not gonna go through it and bore you with all the things that are in there, but the planning board and the town have been working to implement those things that we felt coming out of the plan should be implemented. And part of that was just to go over a few. There's a checklist in there that shows which ones we've done, which ones we don't think we're going to do or whatever. But some of the things that came out of there was putting in a number of town-owned parcels into the Conservation Commission. You've heard, and you've acted on a number of parcels that we've transferred to the Conservation Commission. That was a result of what came out of the comprehensive plan the last time we did it. There's been talk, and part of the reason that the planning board at this time decided or felt that it was a good time to come and update the comprehensive plan is that the town of Milford is pretty well built out. We're probably 95% built out, so the ability to increase our tax base, and it's something that we think about as part of the planning board, is really limited. Going forward, the only way that we're going to see an increased tax base is a higher and better usage. One way to do that is to take a look at what your zoning is and what it allows and doesn't allow. That probably isn't a big driver in residential areas. I don't think that we're changing residential areas and densities and stuff, but it can be a big driver in the existing industrial and existing commercial areas. And is there a way that we can get higher and better usages in there? That's one of the things that that we definitely plan to look at as part of the update to the master plan now. Is that something that we can do or not do? And what are other people doing or not doing? It also allows us to go back, if you go through there, the consultant will talk to just about every board in Milford. What do they see? What are they looking for? What do they want to do? What do they want to get? Certainly there's been a lot of talk downtown revitalization committee and things like that. The intent is for them to go to all those people and bring all that information back and assimilate that into a plan that presents how the town should move forward in addressing those concerns. It doesn't necessarily mean we're going to do what anybody says or wants, but at least we address those concerns. So it's really our roadmap. And we're probably getting to a point, unless there's a lot of changes, where a 20-year cycle in Milford isn't a big thing, because we're not going to, again, it's severely limited in what you can and can't do. But we think it's time that we look at, okay, we're pretty well built out, what and how would we like to change those areas that are already built out? So we're looking to a consultant to do that. With that being understood, we went back to the Metropolitan Area Planning Council, who did the last plan for us. Where Milford is a member of the Metropolitan Area Planning Council. I'm actually the town representative for that. And they, because the town's a member of that, we're eligible for grants through them. So when we originally went to the capital committee, the finance committee, we were looking at $163,000, I believe, because that was what they thought the full plan update would take. Since that point in time, they've come through with a $60,000 grant to help fund the town to do this update to the master plan. So we're coming before you looking for $103,000 to update the master plan that as we currently have.
Jerry?
I'm almost afraid to ask the question, but I want a very simple answer. When you did the plan previously, what piece of the puzzle was fixed, or what were you guided by the plan that helped the town? Because I've never seen the one from 20 years ago, and I'm not so sure that but I just like, give me an example of what the plan said do.
As I said, we transferred a number of parcels to the Conservation Commission. They were originally town-owned parcels that are now under control of the Conservation Commission. That was part of the master plan.
Okay, thank you. You answered.
That was one of them. There's a number of them, and there is a full, just to be perfectly clear, there's a number of them in the thing.
I don't want to get into a 30-minute, I just want to feel.
You have it in your package that will answer.
I just want to feel comfortable that if I spend this money, we're spending the money wisely for the benefit of the town. I just don't want to do another feasibility study, another plan that sits on the shelf someplace.
No, we try to be, and there are things.
You answered the question, fine, thank you.
Do you need this comprehensive plan to get grants, or just because you're a member in the max? You can
No, you don't need it for anything other than we need to plan for how the town goes forward. I mean, there may be something that say comes out in the future. I can't say that you need an updated comprehensive plan, but I don't know that. We're not looking for it as part of going for grants.
And to piggyback off of Jerry's question, I'm sorry, I just have one more question. One of the bullet points here is what do we want to look like in 25 years? I'm sure the same question was in 2003. Do we look like what we were supposed to look like when the first comprehensive plan came out?
Do we look like, no, we are further along that path. I wouldn't say we're all the way there. Some things, and I have to be totally honest, some things the comprehensive plan says, the town of Milford really doesn't want to do, but they have to be professional about it, and they have to do certain things that say, this is what you really should be doing. Those things don't necessarily pass in the town of Milford, and we know that. So are we further along the path? Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, if you look at the second handout, the number of items on that second handout that are checked, there are more items that are checked that we accomplished in the implementation part of the plan than we didn't. That's why I did the updated chart to show that it's a valuable document and it's an iterative process. So you don't just get one parcel under Concom jurisdiction and say, oh boy, I got that one done, check. We have 1,000 acres under Concom jurisdiction. And that took multiple articles at multiple different town meetings that this board supported. to accomplish that, but that keeps going. There's going to be more parcels coming in at next town meeting, so it's ongoing. As you go through that list, which is right out of the implementation section of the 2003 plan, you'll see that we've been following it. You may not remember seeing the plan, but it's been there, and it's been on the website. It's available to people. It's at the library. So, and we follow it. Conservation Commission follows it. I'm sorry.
Lauren, you had a question?
Very quickly, just following up what Jerry and David had said, I think their concern was they just don't want to see a new plan and it's sitting on the shelf. So my question is, I see that there's funding. Are there any strings attached, or is there anything that would require, like, you know, by this date, this needs to be done, by this date, that needs to be done?
No.
Are you making any assurances that you're going to do what's in the plan within?
Well,
We can't.
we get the money.
I mean, are you asking us if the planning board is going to do it?
Well, no,
At the
not
end of
you
the day, it won't be
specifically.
us.
I'm not asking you to dig a ditch. I'm just asking, is there a way to, you know, because I mean, like, what the concern from before was, it was sitting on a shelf, and yes, some
It's-
stuff was done, but I think the bigger picture is we want to see downtown.
Well, I think as Larry just said, it's never sat on a shelf. I mean, everybody comes and they want to do downtown revitalization. We hear that all the time. And at the end of the day, it's not the planning board nor the town of Milford. We don't own property there. It's the owners there, and what's allowed there is open to them. And nobody has ever come to us and said, we want to do this, this, or this. There's been no movement on downtown that hasn't been, you know, really come from the planning board in terms of trying to do things that allow more varied things in the downtown core.
I'm just talking big picture.
And that's what I'm talking about.
You know what I'm saying?
And at the end of the day, whatever the planning board or some developer or anybody else proposes that requires zoning approval, the final authority is town meeting. So even things that the planning board has supported and actually proposed themselves in the past didn't pass town meeting. So it's a town decision.
And I applaud, and I know that your most recent members, and I'm sorry for the loss of one of your members, I know they ran on the comprehensive plan, you know, getting a new one.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that 100%. I just want to see the, you know, I think people just want to see the plan in motion. They want to see improvement in town, big picture.
Yep. And at the end of the day, as Larry said, that may not necessarily be us, that may be town meeting, certainly.
Okay.
As far as
We have a motion on the floor.
I made a motion of 103,000.
David seconded. All in favor? Unanimous.
One
Thank you.
caveat, I would like you to share at least one copy of the plan with the whole committee. Give it to the chairman, let him pass it around, so we're all, when you get done.
the new one? Yeah.
Once you get done, just,
Yeah, it's on the website. It's on the website. The existing one's on the website. Everybody knows.
everything's on the
That's
website,
been-
that's the problem. You know, you get lost and,
I have a question. We have been going under the modus operandi that on certain articles, if we get a favorable vote, we don't necessarily need the department heads to come in. The youth center has a proposal to buy a van. Can you talk to that, or?
Can I? On me.
Okay.
I can talk so much. Did you see the look on Joe's face?
No, I was
Even the vans for that.
Vans for everyone. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
So last subcommittee that I was at, almost a month ago, this came out, and a little bit of history is that we were trying to, they need a van for their summer programs to go to places where camps.
21 minutes. I'm so sorry. I'm going to interrupt you, Blaine.
So they need a van to go to their field trips, for lack of a better word, which they use. Myself and a couple of other people were trying to work with the school department and town, I don't know what her title is, but, so we were trying to work with her to see if we can create some synergies, because we know they have vans, and try to create some synergies between the youth center and the school department to see if they can borrow a van that, you know, and all the costs will be at the youth center's cost. So they'll pay for the driver, they'll pay for gas, whatever it is, and be some charge in between there. I don't know if that's Legals Act, but that's what we talk about. So, based on the school committee, on the school side, they said that their vans are used all the time during the summer, and there's really no capacity for an extra van. So, having said that, they put the van on the lot. I don't agree with it, to tell you the truth. I know they need one, but we have so many extra vehicles laying around out there that,
Sit up there parked also.
Yeah, the big brother doesn't want to share. Let's be honest.
so that's,
the way things are.
so,
I'm gonna have comments about that. Those vans don't belong to the schools. They
I don't
belong to
wanna-
the town of,
I guess they're controlled by the schools,
they belong to
so,
the town of Milton.
so we have to,
This nonsense.
we have to reserve.
I'll form a transportation division to take them all away, put like Mr. Nicholson said, put them all in the pool. And then that way,
Yeah, I mean, so that's.
that's why I went to schools here, when you just talked about the van at the same time.
We should bring it up at the,
I'm gonna wait to do this.
Well,
until-
next Wednesday, the school and the youth commission are coming in. So why don't we defer any discussion till they're both here?
Can we just say that it isn't needed for the youth center?
I agree.
They need it, it's just a
But they have
matter
at least 14 vehicles in that parking lot.
Right, there
They
was a
have 3 or
scheduling conflict
4
all the
huge
time.
buses, they've got 3 or 4 mini buses, and they have at least 8, the last time I checked, it might be 9 minivans up there.
So some of them might have been like size capacity, there might have been.
Used to.
Don't have a conversation if they're not here to answer the question.
Yeah,
I agree.
I think the chairman's 100% right.
Let's wait till next Wednesday.
I just, I'm a little concerned about the acquisition of vehicles.
Rick, can you talk about number 5, the buyback, or Zach?
You said I doubt it.
Can I ask one question?
With Diane,
Want the
I'm wondering.
schools to be able to talk about it, and somebody tell the school that
I'll tell
that
Chris.
it can happen, so it's.
I'll tell Chris that he's going to be asked. Well, Michael, you can tell, you're the chairman of the subcommittee. Let him know that when they come in, they're going to be asked.
About the
van.
transportation.
Yeah.
Just that's a useful conversation.
Absolutely.
No, that's legit.
Let them come up here.
Zach? No, they're at a football game. And I see tonight football game. Well, yeah, I left the football game to come here and I told him he was there.
It's not Holy Cross, it's Milford High. This guy is unbelievable.
The future Holy Crosses.
Okay, Article 5.
I don't think it's 5.
I don't think it is either, Mr. Chairman.
What article is it about?
This is the 6 buyback, again, right up there.
No, he's right, 5.
That's the personnel board article.
Says
Somebody here
personnel.
wanna talk about?
To amend the personnel bylaws of the
That's
town. For once, I'm right.
What's the wording?
I support it.
Issue the warrant you had.
That's the provision.
Now, I was under the impression that this was not changing, Zach, that this was not changing anything, it was just clarifying.
It's not 5.
It is bereaved.
Oh, F, I'm sorry, yeah, we did do 5, but there's different sections here, so you're talking about the sick leave buyback.
Yes.
We're deleting it in its entirety, this was situational in 1986, clearly we don't use it anymore. We're just, as you noticed, there's an attempt to try to clean up the bylaws, this is one of them.
And this was in place because certain employees were grandfathered.
Yep,
And then as time has gone on, they're all gone.
yep.
So there's nobody covered by sick leave buyback outside of police and fire in their own contracts.
Perfectly said.
So what, do we need to even vote on?
Refer to sponsor. if you
Refer to
want.
sponsor if you want, or say favorable to get
There's
rid
no
of the
financial
verbiage.
impact.
I don't think
Not
so.
anymore.
It's
There would have
either
been.
way right now. we
There
just
would have
find-
been in the
because
past,
it's
but right now,
irrelevant,
yes.
I agree.
Right now, there's no financial.
I think for clarity purposes, and get to a town meeting, we'll go, but if we just refer to sponsor, leave us out.
Make the motion.
I motion we refer to sponsor.
Second?
Second.
Vinnie, second. All in favor? Any opposed? Unanimous. We're down to the nitty gritty. Zach, are you ready to talk about stabilization, or do you want to wait till next Wednesday after?
I could do it.
Do it.
All right, would you like me to do 26 first, which is CPA for the fire?
I thought we did that for 550.
I asked if we could wait for tonight.
Oh, okay.
So that was a more solid number. I estimated 550 and have a solid figure.
What's the solid number?
It is $540,975.
Glad we did.
And also with stabilization, it usually is the absolute positive last thing we do because of the repercussions of any articles that happen.
We can wait, and I'd like to hand out my sheet. I have copies for tonight. We can wait on stabilization.
Well, if we look at the van, the boilers, and the field, those are the only 3 articles left.
And we'll all be repercussions, so I agree with you.
And we
You
can
wanna
deal
go-
with stabilization now, and if something dramatically changes next Wednesday, we can reconsider.
Why don't we do this? I'll hand out the spreadsheet here. That way you have it in mind for the next meeting, the big picture anyway. I'll talk about conceptually why we have this plan, and then we can take it on.
Get it done.
We should almost round it up to the nearest thousand.
You're on.
Are we on to stabilization? You vote the CBA? You vote that?
I'm not the chairman.
CBA.
CBA, the collective bargaining.
Firefighters.
Oh, collective bargaining, let's go
We
through
have not
collective
voted on
bargaining.
Yeah.
Number
We did not have a
26.
motion. I'll move that we approve 547,900.
540,975.
That number. Motion.
So we're in article.
Got a second from Carl?
Someone tell me an
Is
article.
there any, Jerry,
Just for clarity, it's just 2 years.
2 years,
this is
correct.
26,
Article number, please.
26,
So we understand why we're spending that kind of money. It's over 2 years of contract.
and it's to approve the sum of 540,975,
Yes, sir.
which would, excuse me, would take care of last year and this year.
All, actually, all this year.
Any questions? Yes.
Maybe not. Well, does retirees get caught up too on this if it goes back 2 years?
If they retire during that time frame, yes, we open it up to them.
Can we put your claim in?
No, I know somebody.
I know a guy.
I know a guy.
Tom's got the record.
Any questions? No questions, all in favor? Any against? Unanimous.
Motion, Jerry, second, Ben, please, anybody?
No, I didn't.
I'm
Jerry and Garden.
Thank you, I'm sorry.
Oh, you're taking, you're playing secretary?
Yep,
Yes.
that's why I'm not usually this asking.
Okay, so the last one for tonight is stabilization.
All right, Article 49. As you know, in the planning process, we had built in, we always had built in stabilization contribution at the raise and appropriate level. Early in the year, the number was just under 1.7. It had change in it because we were following our practice of taking whatever debt was falling off the schedule, applying it to stabilization, therefore keeping our ability to bond when we inevitably do for new school or whatever it may be in the future. So we've been continuing that practice. It's also been known that if we have a healthy free cash year and it fits within our funding scenario, that we may up that. So we are going to up it. The number we have is 2 million, so not going too crazy. We estimated 1.6, we're gonna go to 2 million. A couple things changed along the way, as it typically does. We have the new growth certified now at 1.25 million. We estimated 750, so that's $500,000, which is great. It's pretty consistent with past years. Paul, yeah, I know you reviewed the documents with a significant amount of personal property.
Yes.
Yes, so personal property continues to be one of
Which
the
is
drivers.
the commercial tax, not residential personal property.
Say that one again?
I can't hear, I can't, come up here and talk.
If the assessor was here, she could explain it better. Personal property tax is the tax of businesses, commercial, industrial, or utilities. There are things that are not
Equipment.
property, plant, but the other stuff. So the equipment, it can be things like that. So
When you own a big ass machine, you pay the 10
Right.
bucks.
yeah, but it could be telephone
Period.
lines, it could be fire.
Could be taxes.
It could
You
be
gotta-
all sorts of-
Yeah.
This does not affect private.
No, so personal property is under both the commercial and industrial
Okay.
uses. It's not residential.
My point of bringing it up, it's been a big drive for the past few years. It's a little unpredictable, and until Jen has it certified, it's kind of like me with free cash. That's it.
But that's why we don't count on it in budget.
Yeah, exactly.
It's up by how much? Or do you know?
1.25 from 750. From
Like-
my estimate.
It's up $500,000.
Estimated 750 is 1.25.
So the new growth is 1.2,
Yes.
and the personal property is 1.25?
No. I'm just saying, I was trying to indicate out of the 1.25, personal property is a big drive.
The backup is on the drive under current fiscal year, and it'll be the stuff that comes from the assessors. If you look on the current fiscal year.
Anything else?
Nonetheless, kind of laying the foundation here to indicate our overall funding sources. We have at the raise and appropriate level just under $12 million. If you're following along the spreadsheet, it's right in the middle right here. That's about 12 million available right up to the levy. We never had any intentions whatsoever of taxing right up to the levy, and we still won't if we follow the schedule. We certified 8.2 million in free cash, so collectively about $20 million available. Again, meeting our objectives, stabilization was one of them. We estimated 1.6. I'm suggesting, we did have a financial team meeting on Monday. We went over with the chairman, Correa, and the chairman of the select board, Paul Mazzucchelli. We agreed $2 million seemed to be an appropriate figure. That also works into the bigger picture, so that will still hit our target. We targeted $5.4 million of excess levy. This will do a little bit better, 5.65 of excess levy, so that's meant to try to control tax growth, also to save that for a large project in the future, or if anything ever devastating happens. This also allows us to carry $2.8 million of free cash to the spring. We know one of our goals that we've been able to hit every year for the past decade is to clear whatever snow and ice deficit we may or may not have. Unfortunately, the last few years, who knows what may come this year, so we'll have that available. We also know that it's budgeted and planned for the potential of a costly feasibility study that potentially could be in May too. So we will have that money available if we so
What kind of
choose.
feasibility?
School feasibility study.
School feasibility study
What we already-
is gonna be 1.5 to
What's
1.7.
that?
We need additional dollars to, I thought last year we tried to put dollars away.
Well, we put money in the short-term, no-term
Yep, yep.
stabilization.
The
But
money's
in
there.
the past, like when we did Brookside, and we did other projects, we earmarked it in case we need it, but if we had plenty of free cash, we left it there
Got it. Thank you.
and used free cash. But the idea is, if free cash went tight this year, because we didn't know last year what it was gonna be, we always had that money to fall back on. So you're right, we did put it away, and the idea is if we need it, it's there. Is that right?
Sir.
Is it, where is it in here? The amount that was put away encumbered for feasibility study?
Last time.
I'm saying that we're saving free cash, not spending it all at this town meeting to have available.
Jerry, it's not earmarked in the book.
Yeah.
It's a total amount, just like when we
Of
put,
this can hardly read it, to 8 million, you're encumbering, earmarking.
No encumbrances, just being available in the event.
no, we throw it into the pool and,
In case you come up with a feasibility study, you're gonna take this 2.8 and take 1.2 money out to do the
we
feasibility.
might.
Okay.
Okay.
What it does, it gives us the option. Of using
You're
either or.
banking it, it's fine. You're banking, you're not spending, you're banking.
Right.
If that does not happen, once June 30th comes, it gets recycled
It's
back.
recycled and we got it for next year and we start again.
Yes,
Because that's what's happened the last 2 years.
it has, yes.
What's being
Chris.
done for tax relief? I don't see that in this equation.
Built into the equation, 5.7 million in excess levy, the largest this town's ever seen.
Chris?
Mr. Chairman, I just want to just take a quick minute just to recognize that we do a lot of stuff over the last 3 nights, 4 nights. This is where the tire hits the tracks. This is where everything happens. This is where if we decide we're going to move something from free cash over to raise and appropriate, or raise and appropriate over free cash, or whatever, this is the biggest reflection on the town's taxes and what happens, what this sheet is right here. So everyone can say, oh, I don't understand, when we have 2.8 million, to Jerry's point, why don't we just take this from free cash and move it over to here? The planning that comes with to make this document is all the work that is done by the financial team all year long. Because if you say, oh yeah, well we have 2.8, why can't we just move the carpets over or whatever over? It is a huge repercussion on the town and what you save. So this document and where everything falls in each column is specifically done for a specific reason. And this is why we are successful. This document every year. And this is with Brownie, with Zach, with Ricky, with Abadanza, with Chris. Like, this is the document that makes us different than every other town.
David, you got a question?
No, lost it.
Okay. So, any other questions on putting away $2 million in stabilization? Now, typically, we've always put a portion of the money away for tax relief. This year, $5.65 million. $2 million into our savings account, our stabilization account. And we're going to fund a lot of the capital needs from the remainder. Because we budgeted $1.75 million. One article ate that. So just so everybody knows, we're following tradition of a chunk into stabilization, a chunk into capital, and a chunk into tax relief.
What will the stabilization account be at the end of town meeting?
At the close of the fiscal year, we had 26.6 in our quote-unquote normal stabilization, 8 million in the short-term capital, whatever you want to call it, the other one.
Yeah.
And you got 2 million in the sewer fund.
That is not our money.
It actually comes on the finances of the town.
It's too much.
Okay, and then there's money in an enterprise fund for the water department too, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so,
Okay. Do we have a motion?
motion approved.
Jerry made a motion, Andy second. All in favor?
Just like to keep tabs on
So,
those numbers.
okay, now, I'm gonna ask and beg that next Wednesday, everybody show up. We had scheduled a meeting on Tuesday and Wednesday next week. Does it work?
I agree with Terry.
Huh?
I agree with you.
You better read the budget, Wednesday and Thursday.
It's Wednesday.
17th and 18th.
It's Wednesday and Thursday.
Okay, I believe you, but the calendar doesn't. The calendar says the 18th.
It's all about the posting.
Am I missing it? Is the 18th not Wednesday?
Next week you have meetings scheduled for
12?
Tuesday and
19th,
Wednesday next week.
next.
That's what I'm saying. Jerry says the 18th is Thursday. I believe the 18th is Wednesday.
Just did the math.
Okay.
So I'm sorry, I plugged it in on my calendar for Wednesday and Thursday.
Okay, but I'm looking at the posting. It's Tuesday and Wednesday. Tuesday was up here. Wednesday is down in I'm going to suggest, unless there's strong objection, that I cancel the Tuesday meeting. Because we don't need it. We have 3 articles left. The reason for that is if we have it in room 3, Chris has told me that we can have remote access. And I think that's a good thing. Any objections?
The published agenda for all the meetings is the same. This
Yes.
week and next week. Okay.
So you're gonna redo
The posting, I will update the posting. Right now, we don't have to legally because it says, not limited to articles not discussed or completed at previous FinCom meetings. But I'll put in there that it's school and the youth center. That way it's clear.
I'm gonna cancel Tuesday.
I'm gonna cancel Tuesday.
That's important.
Right now.
So leave it up.
Right now.
Jerry, I said I'm gonna cancel Tuesday.
Now, you need to add another item for Wednesday. Countryside.
Not until somebody tells me to.
I'm asking you to.
Okay. No, it's just literally, I will add the third.
Thank you.
item.
Beginning or end of the meeting?
That's what I was gonna be.
And end of that meeting, because the school committee will come in. The school committee articles are pretty clean and easy. The van is gonna be the question that is gonna garner some debate, and then whatever you wanna bring up.
Actually should be garnered some debate. There's some discussion.
Jerry, that's, I said that.
So let's debate with them and not each other.
That's a good point.
Yes. Yes, everything is done except Article 21, the youth center van proposal, Article 31, the Stacy boilers, and Article 37, the woodland field fence.
21, 31, and 37, Mr. Chairman, those are the only three we have left.
Only three left.
21, 31, 37.
We're all in agreement, so I'm gonna write it down.
150.
And Diana's getting it asked for please review.
Everything sounds like a lot of money right now,
That's a next.
but let's wait till Wednesday when they come in and
I'm fine with
present.
that. I like
It's the
it.
play, Mr. Chairman.
Any other discussion?
Motion to adjourn.
Wednesday, downstairs, right?
Motion to adjourn is not debatable. Do we have a second? Vinnie seconded, Jerry made the motion. All in favor of adjourning? So